Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us on this lovely Monday, 17th of May, 2021. It's a lovely night. It was a lovely day in Trinidad and Tobago thus far. So viewers, I do want to thank you for joining us live on Synergy Television from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. Remember, we are also streaming live on our Facebook page. That is Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So all you have to do, go into your Facebook account, go in your search bar, type in Real Talk with Saeed. Our Facebook page will pop up. And all you have to do is press the like and the share button. That is all you have to do, viewers. So feel free. You could take this 2 minutes. Go up on your social media platform. Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. TT Real Talk on YouTube. Share it. Like it. Let friends and family know about it. So viewers, as we start off tonight, I do want to say, those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you who lend friends and family money and you cannot get it back, feel free to contact Real Talk Debt Collection Department and they will assist you in any way possible. Now viewers, you can contact us at 238-6716 or 339-1670. So keep in mind now, just a little reminder that we have our device drive that is taking place to buy a tab or a laptop for a student. You can contribute at $500 or $600 towards this drive. And in doing so, you can win an all-inclusive trip for two to Tobago to enjoy the weekend, all-inclusive. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about if you're going in a random hotel. You're going in an executive hotel in Tobago. An executive hotel. Now, once you contribute at $500 or $600 towards this device drive, you could win that. And also, what I want to add tonight is that, seeing that is the curfew, the lockdown in Trinidad, it will be extended. What I'm going to do tonight also, viewers, is that we're going to start back one of our food drive. We're going to start back to one of our food drive. So viewers, in the last couple of food drive that we did, I do want to thank you so much for contributing. I have mentioned names of people who have contributed in our last food drive, and we want to start it back. So here's what you can do. Now, you can contribute the same $500 or $600 towards our food drive. Right? Contribute the $500 or the $600 towards our food drive. You can contribute that $500 or $600 to our laptop or tablet device drive also. So the two drive, viewers, the two drive, you can contribute at $500 or $600. You just have to know which one you're contributing to. But contributing to our food drive, you can also win an all-inclusive weekend in two for two to Tobago. It's the same thing I'm offering. Now, what I'm doing is that I'm encouraging you to contribute. I'm encouraging you to contribute. And you all know that when Real Talk, when Saeed do a food drive, you're getting a proper market bag, you're getting a proper grocery bag, and you're getting chicken to go with it. You know, we was the first person to really introduce the grocery bag, the market bag, and the chicken. Real Talk with Saeed was the only person, this organization was the only organization doing that. The rest of the organization, they were just getting a market bag or a grocery bag. Nothing wrong with that. That is as far as their capacity could carry them. But we just do things different. Like I always say, I am a leader. I am not a follower. God made leaders and He made followers also. So I am not condemning no playing field. No judgment is being passed. So we want to start back our food drive. Please make a contribution to our food drives. You know, it does be a market bag, a well-prepped market bag. You're getting chicken and you're getting a grocery bag. So viewers, from tonight, I want to start back that. I just want to show it out in the public domain tonight. We do it pretty well. For those of you who are accustomed contributing to our food drive, please make a contribution. We are not pressing anybody. You know, but once you could reach a 500 or 600 contributed, there are a lot of single mothers, because the last drive we did was a single mother food drive, and there's a lot of single mothers who contacted me back. And I told them, well, we wasn't doing that, right? But seeing that the amount of them contacted me, I decided to throw it out tonight for the public to understand how serious it is. So viewers, we have our device and the food drive. The boat drive that you can contribute at 500 or 600 to, and the boat drive, I will also include in the food drive a trip for two to Tobago, all inclusive. All inclusive. So please make a contribution. You know, for those of you who know Saieed and have been watching Real Talk, you would understand that I love to help people. I love to get people involved and who love to help people. That is our thing with me. And you all have known since the show started. We are pulling families together. We are helping this one. We are helping that one. We are helping the next one. It's all about love and harmony. Bob Marley once said, one love. One love. The rich man, when he died, where is he going? In the grave. The poor man, when he died, where he going? The grave digger might dig that grave right on top the rich man's grave to marry the poor man. Right on top of that same grave. When the rich man burning him, they'll put him in a furnace. They go burn him. The family of the poor man, they might have some rich family, they might come together and they say, you know what, we're not going to bury him, we will burn him. And he will burn in the same furnace. In the same furnace. But I'm going to tell you something. When you die, you're not carrying your house, you're not carrying your land, you're not carrying your car, you're not carrying your wife, you're not carrying your children. You're not carrying your business. Well, definitely I ain't carrying no $5,000 suit with me. I know that. The only thing that would go with you is the good deed that you do. That nobody can take away. So my friend, all I'm asking you to do is contribute a 500 or 500 or 600 towards our food drive and device drive that we are having. So as we move on tonight, call a good night.
Saieed, good night. How are things going on?
Good, good. Trying to be good.
Could Member of Parliament take the Speaker in front of Judge to ask questions when they refuse in the Parliament? Thank you.
I will have to find out. I will have to find out. Because I believe the Speaker, the opposition could carry the Speaker in front of the committee to answer questions. Don't hold me to it, but I have been reading some documents and it could be leading down that pathway. But well said, my friend. Good question. After Trinidad and Tobago was placed under a state of emergency SOE from May 15th, authorities have drafted new regulations, which now includes a ban on the consumptions of alcohol in public places and a ban on all outdoor exercise and sports. In order to avoid any gray areas, the emergency power regulations continued in legal section number 142 of 2021 clearly spells out what you can and cannot do, or what you can and cannot be done during the hours of 5:01 a.m. and 8:59 p.m. daily. Issued yesterday, the list also effectively banned the sale of food and drinks by street vendors and visits to all mud volcanoes and or mud pools for recreational purposes. With regards to outdoor activities, the regulations specify there will be no team sport, contact sport, or outdoor sport, or any exercising in public. It also put an end to running, hiking, cycling, and golf. So if you feel the golfers could go on the golf course and swing their arm, they cannot do that. They cannot do that. So feel free to call in, viewers, 238-6716. Let me hear what you have to say concerning the SOE that was implemented on the 15th from 9 a.m. to 5, from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So, all National Lotteries Control Board, NLCB, operations have been suspended until further notice. This means there will be no opportunity to bet on the Lotto Plus, Playway, or Cashpot. However, under the public health regulations, legal notice from the Attorney General and the Ministry of Legal Affairs Office on April 30th and May 12th listed NLCB under essentials. NLCB chairman stated that they received the directive to shut down games as of midnight on Sunday. The chairman noted that with the suspension of its operation, it would be a dent on the small man's pocket. They went on to explain that the Lotto booths conduct government bills payment and also the sales of B-Mobile and digital phone cards. So all NLCB outlets is down. NLCB is locked down totally, viewers. Now concerning the curfew, there will be no increased. There will now be increased roadblocks throughout TNT as part of the Prime Minister's announcement on Saturday that the country would be better under a state of emergency, that is the SOE. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said that the state of emergency is aimed to decreasing the alarming increase in COVID-19 cases.
I have had these discussions with the Attorney General, with the Ministry of Health. Unfortunately, CMO is not here with us at this moment, but we are going to make additional attempts to reduce the spread or the opportunity for spread of the virus. So, from midnight tonight, Trinidad and Tobago will be under a state of emergency involving a curfew that from then onwards would be 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Meaning that if you don't have to be out for exempted reasons, you stay home under force of law.
Essential service such as national security, health, public transport, the energy sector, utilities, and food are unaffected by the SOE. He also called on the public not to panic, but to allow common sense to prevail and not to be outside unless absolutely necessary. Question on how long the state of emergency lasts. The PM stated that the SOE will run until it is expired under the law or for a period of 90 days.
The state of emergency that we put in place now will remain in place until it is either expired or discontinued. We move into a state of emergency, but not until next week or week after. We are in a state of emergency, and I will hold it that way for the time being. The 23rd is where we had looked at, another date cast in stone. All of these dates that you're referring to, like the 23rd, are controlled by Dr. Hines' data. You understand? So the state of emergency allows us under law to be there for 90 days. So at least 90 days in the first instance. It may not be 90 days, maybe 30, maybe 60, but it is in place now to allow us to have a bit more rollback.
He noted that only about 5,000 call a good night.
Good night, Saeed, and all your listeners.
Go right ahead.
All right. You know, the Prime Minister used an offensive statement, so I won't call the animal, but I will interchange it with the word gadaha. You know what gadaha? So don't gadaha the thing, right? It means the same thing. No, I want to focus on a statement that the Prime Minister said would affect the vaccination. And what he said, he had the COVID, right? So he had taken the vaccination for 6 months, right? Currently, the Ministry of Health statistics say we have 16.5K, and that is underestimated. So what he telling them, 16,000, 17,000 people, or they don't take the vaccine now, wait for 7 months, wait for 6 months. You see, I'm telling you, the man got a hard thing. No, I want to be very careful what I'm saying. And I want to focus on women in leadership in this country. We have 4 women in high office. What have they done to help mitigate this COVID crisis? They have done nothing. And they assisted the man who made the Gadaha statement to mismanage it. We have the highest office. What has she been doing? She has been silent. She only signed up on a state of emergency recently because she was getting pressure with comments that people say she only taking high risk. You have a lady who sits in the upper house. You have a lady who sits in the lower house. What they did to this country, they deny beating this pandemic. Did they understand this pandemic? No. You had another lady in high office with little resources. She's not lady in red, eh? You know that song? Lady in red? I ain't going to get all yours. Lady in yellow. With limited resources. She takes pen and paper and write a prime minister, beg for vaccine to save the citizens of this country. That is leadership. That is patriotism. That shows you she's the mother of the nation. She really thinks of the citizens. The rest of them ain't care. The rest of them have the political party card and collecting a fat salary and are very, very annoyed. I ain't nothing but the FABs. None of them. Woman is the most important people in any family. They nurture the little children. They know when a child is sick before the doctor. The father doesn't know that at all. The mother knows that. Mothers know when the child is upset. He has that feeling. So when a man say he a beg, what do you expect people to think about it? No, Biden giving vaccine, I wonder if he's going to beg. And if he a beg, good luck, right? But we have to get it to save lives. I go on.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we're moving on to the curfew exemptions. The Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, stated that over 250 persons have applied to be exempted from the 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew, which is now in effect. Griffith stated that he received over 2,800 letters from organizations requesting curfew passes for 250,000 citizens.
So far, in the last 30 hours as Commissioner of Police, I have spent about 26 hours non-stop reviewing all of the requests for curfew passes. I have received 2,800 letters requesting curfew passes for employees from organizations. Of these 2,800, over 250,000 names have come to me asking for passes to be given. This is over 1/4 of the adult population, and they're still coming in fast and furious by the thousands. So we're speaking about 2,800 organizations writing to the Commissioner of Police to ask for over 250,000 persons to have access to drive around during curfew period.
Now, viewers, he noted that only about 5,000 of these people will have those exemption requests approved. Griffith stated that he was amazed by the type of persons who were applying for the curfew passes. From CEOs to chairmen of companies who wanted to have the document as a status symbol. However, he added that if there was an emergency, people would be allowed to leave their homes and if stopped in a roadblock, would get an escort to their destinations. He noted that those who intend to challenge the system would be dealt with.
There will be situations of emergency. Anything can happen, heaven forbid, but anything can happen at any time to family members at a home. If it is you have to immediately leave your home to go to the hospital, you need to accompany your loved one. If the police stop you, they are actually going to escort you to that location. So let us not be concerned that if you have an emergency or you have to leave your house immediately based on a situation of virtual life or death, that you should not do it. You should. That is your right. And the police, if there is that you are stopped in a roadblock, we would actually assist you in a situation.
Now, viewers, he added that those working in the public health system and those who maintain the national power grid would not require a curfew permit, as their work identification badge would be enough. Griffith also called on persons to be responsible during the days, as there is in no such a limit on the state of emergency.
Before I close, I ask persons to even be responsible during the day as well. This is not a situation that because it is the curfew period that you will stay home and then during the day you will try to come out. It is a state of emergency. I keep hearing this word about a limited state of emergency. There is no such thing. A state of emergency is a national state of emergency. It is like saying you're half pregnant. The country has a state of emergency. There's a curfew during a specific period during that state of emergency. What we need to do for this to be successful and for the police to adhere to our objective and to succeed, we need the support of the public. Not having 250,000 persons be asking to get a curfew pass. That means that we do not understand the objective and the reason for this state of emergency. Let us start pulling back as much as possible. That the police, our objective and our mission in this situation is to minimize the public as much as possible from being out there. And if it is we do that, the faster we do that, the more successful we can be in this objective to then move forward.
Caller, good night.
Good night, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Okay, I'm calling from the San Fernando area.
Welcome, San Fernando.
Right. I want to find out the money that they put aside for vaccines in 2020, where the money gone?
Thank you very much.
Where the money gone? Right? Next thing, I own a bar. Bar have been down for the past year. I have a lot of boots. Now you come and close that. So how am I going to live? How am I going to pay my bills?
I understand.
You understand? They say they're giving you this and that. They're giving you nothing. I applied for grant last year and I still can't get nothing.
Wow.
You understand?
Thank you, my friend. Minister of Health Terence Singh have stated that the government is working towards getting a commercial sales agreement with Pfizer to acquire vaccine for the population. He stated that there is a narrative that TNT was late in acquiring vaccine, even though evidence shows otherwise. Singh noted that through diplomacy efforts, the PM was able to secure 40,000 AstraZeneca vaccine and 100,000 doses of the Sinopharm vaccine from India and China, respectively.
It's unfortunate that the narrative continues to be that Trinidad and Tobago has been tardy in procuring vaccines, even though the evidence shows otherwise. The Honorable Prime Minister, as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and as Chair of CARICOM, has always been out front advocating not only for Trinidad and Tobago, but for the region, for poor countries to have equitable access to vaccines. He has always been doing that, and he has always led the diplomatic efforts to get vaccines for Trinidad and Tobago. Due to his advocacy, the Honorable Prime Minister, through diplomatic efforts, has been able to secure 140,000 doses of vaccines for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. 40,000 AstraZeneca, after he wrote to his counterpart, the Honorable Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India. And then his conversation with his counterpart, the President of China, on May the 15th or May the 16th. Those 100,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccines should arrive in the country tomorrow night.
Hey, Dalsing, you have no shame, boy. You have no shame as the health minister sitting down there in a press briefing. But then again, long time people say, when you have no shame, dog eat it out. You sit down in a press briefing and tell the gatherings and also the medias and the public by extension, local and regional, that he uses diplomacy and you write a letter to Narendra Modi. Boy, let me tell you something. If you ain't hearing or you ain't seeing, why are you blind, you're dumb, you're deaf, and you're dotish? Let me tell you something. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the opposition leader, took it on her own policy, her own agenda, her own caring self to write to the High Commissioner of India and to the Prime Minister of India asking for help for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. The Prime Minister in India sent a message to you all. If you all would write a letter to us, we would assist you in the vaccine. I'm going to tell you something. All you're so, what's the word to use, boy? Let me see. You're so uneducated at times, or where knowledge lack when it is important. Your Prime Minister, your diplomatic Prime Minister came out on a sit down and he fold up his leg with the grey suit on a white chair and he tell the public, Terence, what did the Prime Minister tell the public? If you ask for a gift or you write a letter, it come like you're begging. So you don't come here now with your grey-head self and your Muslim mask to tell the public that the diplomacy of the Prime Minister who wrote a letter to India Prime Minister who secured 40,000. Boy, let me tell you something. You should be ashamed of yourself. Coming out in the media and making such a statement. You feel the $40,000, the 40,000 vaccine done. Listen this. Was it because you all took the loan from China and you all take the loan and 15% of the loan went back to purchase materials from China, which is the Sinopharm vaccine. Sinopharm vaccine. And that is the reason why China donated 100,000 vaccine. Diplomacy. You are ashamed, boy. Eh? You know how outside ministers looking down at all you? As uneducated puppets running Trinidad and Tobago. While the other CARICOM countries almost vaccinated all their citizens, we now start. Use the same man who come out and say, wrap a jersey around your face. We don't know how to wear mask. Leave mask only for health center. And when you put in place now, you put a fine in place to charge citizens of Trinidad and Tobago for not wearing a mask. And you is the one who said, if we do get it in Trinidad and Tobago, we would be able to manage it. Let me tell you something. I just like when you making a press conference, you know. I just like when you in the briefing giving an update. I just like that. The CMO of Trinidad and Tobago, Roshan Parashram, I would have voted for that man with my 10 fingers and my 10 toes to be the health minister in Trinidad and Tobago. You ain't shame, boy. As my father and my grandfather and my great-great-grandfather used to say, you ain't shame? Dog, eat it out. Listen this. He also reiterated that the government had signed a non-disclosure agreement, you're boasting about that, with Chinese vaccine manufacturer Sinopharm last August, and a similar agreement with Pfizer.
I now want to reiterate again the efforts of our bilateral talks. With Sinopharm, we began bilateral talks on October the 1st, 2020. We signed a non-disclosure agreement on March the 15th. Now, some persons take this non-disclosure agreement and use it selectively to say, why only Sinopharm? We also signed a non-disclosure agreement with Pfizer, but they would not tell you that, and I have said so publicly. A non-disclosure agreement is not because the government has something to hide. It is the precursor to heads of agreement and then a sales contract. A non-disclosure agreement has built into its features that the party like Trinidad and Tobago cannot disclose anything to do with patent rights, formulation, and pricing and quantities ordered at this time.
You, the government, spending tax, paying citizen money. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. You all taking the citizens' money that contributed through tax to purchase vaccines. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you owe the public an explanation as to how much tax-paying dollars is the vaccine costing. That is what you owe Trinidad and Tobago. So don't come with no cock and bull story to tell me about non-disclosure agreement where tax-paying citizen money is concerned in Trinidad and Tobago. A sale contract have nothing to do with a non-disclosure. Because business places throughout Trinidad and Tobago does sign sale contracts. I just sign sale contracts when in real estate. So when you want to tell me about sale contracts, what you want to tell me about non-disclosure? You see, when it comes to money, and it comes to the citizen money that contributing to tax in this country and how the government is spending it, I, as a citizen, have rights to know how is our tax-paying money being spent. So don't tell me that about non-disclosure, Mr. Terrence. Don't tell me about that. You see a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old, tell them about non-disclosure. Not somebody who knows about it. And I will stand here and educate the public on it. So keep your rooster story for yourself. The other thing stated, at this time, no vaccine manufacturer is speaking to any of the private sector entities about acquiring COVID-19 vaccine for Trinidad and Tobago.
The continuing narrative about the involvement of the private sector, which continues to be pushed, is unfortunate. No private sector company, and we keep saying it, but it keeps popping up. No vaccine manufacturer anywhere in the world at this point in time is talking to, negotiating with any private sector organization in Trinidad and Tobago, and I dare say in CARICOM and possibly the rest of the world. So I am hoping this bit of misinformation and disinformation is clarified.
Mr. Dayal Singh, our Minister of Health, I will call you. The only two private entity I know wants to buy the COVID-19 vaccine for their workers is the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago and Ansa McCall. And they did not go behind your back, because I was informed that they came straight to you. Straight to you. How'd you go? Giggling your mouth? You brought in misinformation? There's no misinformation. It's how you want it twisted so the public could hear you. Boy, a man like me, boy, I busting all your bubbles, boy. All your bubbles you blow, I busting it. Because you're talking nonsense. Rubbish. However, he warned that there are persons who wish to obstruct the vaccine program. But we barely have vaccine in Trinidad. You talking about people obstructing it? We barely have any. Or let's start off late with the vaccine thing. The other thing stated that the government is getting closer daily towards commercial sales agreement with Sinopharm and Pfizer to acquire vaccines from both. Boy, let me tell you something. All late in this dance, boy. When the drum man nearly done beat the drum last June, after singing beating about 12 songs, when they reach 12, 11 and a half, all they now come out to dance. That time everybody done sweating, who want to die, who end up in the hospital, all they now going forward. Man don't get drunk and sleeping, all they now decide they get drunk. A little late, boy. The shipment of Sinopharm, of 100,000 Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine from China, is expected to arrive on Tuesday. It is officially en route to Trinidad and Tobago. Chinese ambassador, Fan Q, not thank you, people, Fan Q, said the donation, all of you, a donation. It's a donation, Terrence. It was no diplomatic or diplomacy got it. I would tell myself, it's because of the loan you all took and the vaccine that you purchased, they gave you all a lie-up. How you call it? Is a lie-up you call it, Navin, when they get extras? A lie-up of 100,000. Diplomacy! Boy. Chinese ambassador Fan Q said that donation had been moved from the plant at which it was manufactured to the cargo airport in Beijing. Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Amory Brown responded, also thanking them. Boy, let me tell you something. I'm late in this thing, boy. I'm real late in this thing. The agreement was based on the World Health Organization approving the vaccine. The approval was given on May 7th. While India was giving out and helping countries, we down here waiting to find out if WHO will approve China. And if WHO didn't approve China, well then all hell break loose in Trinidad because we are know where we're going and get it. I'm telling all you that. If WHO did only say, here we're going on, we're not approving Sinopharm in China, well, boy, the bacchanal would have started in Trinidad. I tell you all you're late in this thing, boy, you're late in this thing. If you all watch me now, it's only on Real Talk, you're getting real rough, rugged facts, you know. Because I have sources, and I connected to my intelligence unit, and people connected to my intelligence unit. Said, all we want is the truth out there for the people. And that wouldn't be bamboozled by diplomats and diplomacy. You know these kind of big words? When a poor man had diplomacy, oh good, there's a big man. Call a good night. Go right ahead, my friend.
Right. Sometimes when people talk and have press conference, they say a lot more than what they actually come out of their mouth. Gary Griffith, the state of emergency was called on Saturday, the press conference with Rowley. Today is Monday. He done went through 260 applications for over 250 applications for people who want exemption.
2,800 applications.
But people who have been affected by crime for years made application for acquiring of firearms and still waiting for years and haven't gotten a response. You really want to know if these fellas are really interested in the security and the safety of the people in this country, or they're always looking to make some impression in front of a TV station to get fame and fortune, rather than really being serious about doing what is relevant to help people in this country who are affected by crime. Secondly, the only thing that made sense that come out from Rowley mouth that done on that press conference is when he said, it is my responsibility as the Prime Minister for the safety and the security of every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. The 6 years he was in government, how much people could say that he did his duty and make them safe and secure in this country? How much people have died, have been murdered, robbed, raped, killed, every single thing that you could think about up to today? How have he done as a Prime Minister? And now we are faced with this dilemma where we are in a pandemic, and the number one priority is and was and still is getting vaccine to come out of this. Every easy head of the CARICOM countries, you telling me you have to write a letter requesting vaccine from Joe Biden? You as not a Prime Minister and the head of CARICOM that you could take up a phone and make a direct phone call?
Exactly.
Or is it because of the relationship that he has with China and Venezuela and all the other countries that doesn't align with American policy? He cannot take up a phone and call Joe Biden and say, hey, we are dilemma in Trinidad and Tobago and we are asking if you could help us out. Because let me tell you something. Joe Biden is sending 100 million Pfizer vaccine to Brazil right now as we speak.
Thank you for telling the public.
So why it is we cannot get 1 million doses of Pfizer vaccine in Trinidad and Tobago?
Correct.
And we would pay for it. So people have to wake up and listen and hear and see what is really going on in this country, you know. So I don't talk. Have a good night, Said. Take care, man.
Thank you, my friend. And you forget, you know what he forgets? But I'll just remind you. Exemptions letters. The commissioner could go through 2,800 letterheads. Letterhead. But the Minister of National Security couldn't go through exemption letters and bringing back citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But nevertheless, I opened my mouth, you know. I opened my mouth, and with my mouth comes the power and authority. That is what I know. So we're moving on to the parallel healthcare system. Principal Medical Officer Dr. Marian Abdul-Richard stated that the parallel healthcare system to deal with COVID-19 pandemic has not collapsed. Abdul-Richard stated that although the parallel healthcare system is at a 73% level overall in TNT, it has not collapsed. However, she stated that it is very close to being overwhelmed.
So I would like to reiterate that also, although the parallel healthcare system is at a 73% level overall in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of the hospitals, I would not say that it's collapsed, but it is very close to being overwhelmed, and its resilience is being tested. What I'd say is that we work on a touch-and-go situation.
Now, viewers, however, she stated that it is close to being overwhelmed. Now, listen to this. However, she warned the resources are of course limited and will run out if continued in this trend.
I'd just like to add that while we report that the ICU capacity is at its maximum at the Couva Hospital and at the Arima General and Augustus Long Hospital, the Ministry of Health does have additional resources such as ventilators, which we are using to incrementally and on a phased basis increase the capacity. However, these resources are of course limited and will run out if we continue at this trend.
Now, viewers, just to add it, efforts are underway to increase bed capacity at UTT for Alsane campus from 40 to 60 beds, just to add to it. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
This Pfizer and Moderna, which is 95% active, right? It's cheaper than this Sinopharm that they're talking about. How good is this Sinopharm?
That is why they signed, caller, that is why they signed a non-disclosure agreement not to give out the price.
Yes, you know, I was in Canada recently, and the Canadian government, that every single thing that they tell you the prices, they tell you how long the vaccine is going to be.
Yes, I saw the video.
Yes, and this government haven't been able to tell you nothing whatsoever. The Pfizer and the Moderna, to me, to be honest with you, I got the Moderna just before I came back to Trinidad here, and no side effect whatsoever. And we haven't got the AstraZeneca, one person died from the blood clot in Quebec.
Yes.
And the other two person that got the blood clot in Canada, they were treated for, and that was it. Well, just one person died. The Johnson & Johnson, I think, was about 6 of them. And that's as much as I know so far. But who's going to take a chance taking the AstraZeneca and the Sinopharm? The Pfizer and Moderna, to me, I think is one of the best. I don't know who in the country is going to take otherwise, but I prefer the Pfizer and the Moderna.
Thank you, my friend. Also, that is one bacchanal. Why do you think they signed non-disclosure? Why it is I came out and I tell you all, anywhere tax-paying money is being spent, the citizen must know how much is being spent. Why? Because that is not the government money, you know. Let me tell you something. It's the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, or should I say, people of TNT, contributed towards that, and how that money is being spent, we ought to know. We ought to know. But Terrans feel, oh gosh, the citizens don't have to know how much we spend. That is not their business. You lie. But I will tell you, you lie, you blatantly lie. So here it is. The field hospital that was donated from the US are valued at 1.5 million US or 10.2 million TT, with the assistance of the Defense Force. One hospital has been setting up in Couva, and the second is at the Dream Pier Complex, Mukarapu. When the pandemic is over, the hospitals can be used to provide essential medical service in the event of the disaster. U.S. charge d'affaires Shanti Moore, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, and Minister of Health Terrance D'Alsing toured the field hospital at the Dream Pier Complex today. So they were at the hospital, viewers, tore in the hospital, the prefab hospitals and them that were donated. Let me tell you something. Anytime, and I want all your Trinidadians to understand this, and Tobagonians, and other countries as well that are locked on to side. Listen to this carefully. Anytime the government spending money on whatever project, the citizens of that country have a right to know how their tax money is being spent. Let me tell you something, the government don't work for all you, you know. The government are working for all you, you know. The government doing what they want. They're not working for all you. They're doing what they want. So hear this now. You have a call online? Call a good night.
Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead, my brother.
You know something, Saeed, that the Dr. Hines should advise the Prime Minister exactly which areas the high risk and the COVID are so that they could ask people not to go in these areas and be secured.
Yes,
and
yes.
Another thing, Saeed, that a former AG this morning said, warn the police to be very careful with the state of emergency, otherwise they can cost the state real big money. You know. Thank you, sir.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All I feel is joke. For the third time since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in Trinidad and Tobago, the Supermarket Association will provide free to staff of the Cora and Couva Hospital. From today, 100 provided daily for the 3 weeks in the first instance. Its continuation will depend on the number of sponsors willing to move forward or new ones who wish to collaborate. President of the Supermarket Association, Rajiv Dipti, said last year the feedback was amazing and the workers showed gratitude for the initiative. He added that it is simply part of the association social corporate responsibility. So I will try to get him tomorrow night on the phone lines so we can have an interview with him and find out how they came up with the initiatives. So viewers, just one last thing before we close off. A Tobago woman was allegedly abandoned, who allegedly abandoned her 3 children at home, has been granted $50,000 bail by the court. The 44-year-old unemployed woman appeared in a virtual hearing before a Scarborough magistrate on May 12 charged with 3 counts of cruelty to her children, age 4, age 6, and age 8. The woman was arrested on May 11th after Child Protection Unit detectives visited her home and allegedly discovered 3 children alone at their home for a considerable duration amount of time. So that she's being charged, viewers, and granted bail of $50,000. But nevertheless, tonight is Monday night. It was a mashup night tonight. I want you to understand something, and I really, really want you to take this into consideration. Anytime the government is spending money, it is our money that they are spending, and they have to be held accountable for the money that is being spent. Why do you think we have so much road in Trinidad and Tobago that is unfixed? Why do you think we have lines, WASA lines popping up here, popping up there, and every time they fix the road, or every time a company would pave the road, WASA passing and digging it up? No accountability for nothing in Trinidad. So is the government working for you? No, they're doing what they want. I can safely say that because I know why. So viewers, before we close our show tonight, it was an honor being here, presenting to you the facts of things that are taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. And I would like you to make a contribution to our food drive that we are having and our device drive. The children need devices and people need food. So all you can do is contribute at $500 or $600 towards Real Talk for our food drive, which we did last year. And you all saw the type of groceries and markets and chicken and things I give away. Like I said, we were the first one to implement market and chicken with a grocery bag. The first one. And remember this guy followed, Maxi Coffee followed his constituency with chicken. Remember that now? We were the first to do it. So we want to go back and keep our food drive, viewers. So I am making the announcement tonight. Those of you who wish to contribute can contact 2386716 or 3391670. Contact me, contact my office, make a contribution. Like I said, you could win an all-inclusive trip for two to Tobago. You don't have to worry about anything for that weekend. Rock back and relax. R&R. Rock back and relax. So viewers, until we meet again, remember, please make a contribution of 500 or 600. That is for our cause. And you will see how Real Talk with Saieed is do it. This is all I'm asking of you. So, it's another night, another day tomorrow. Be safe. Thank God when you see sunlight tomorrow. And give God praise. So until we meet again, viewers, stay safe, sanitize, wear a mask, and good night.